What's good, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? JDaisy here with the JDaisy channel. Here with Stable Orbit. This is a little game you probably haven't heard of on Steam. Came out September 27th, 2017. At the time of this recording, it is the winter sale, so it is $7.49 at a 50% discount. Regularly priced $14.99. And this is a building game based around building the International Space Station, or a space station, I suppose. It does not necessarily say it is the ISS. But you are orbiting the planet, and you are building a space station. It's a very kind of bare bones building game as far as that goes, with only two types of building. There's the kind of story mode, where you're kind of funding for money and doing research, and then there's free mode. The free mode just gives you unlimited money and stuff, and I did both. But got about an hour into the game. Done both the story and the unlimited just to see kind of what the top tier level things are. And I would have to say this is an alright little game. You're not going to get hours and hours of play out of this, or major like replay value as far as that goes, but the first time playing it is a lot of fun. And you can probably get a couple hours out of that one time if you're playing in the story mode, because you build your base very slowly. It's like, I do not know the backstory of how hard it was to build the ISS, but I imagine it was very tedious like this. So you start off with this little platform, as you see now, and you slowly start adding modules and research things and solar panels and radiators, and eventually you can get people on. And the only way to make money is by doing researches and taking on grants that then give you money once you get results in a timely fashion that you then use to buy the next modules. So it's a very slow, tedious build of watching all your different levels, making sure everything's okay, that you got enough water and battery, and you can control your food and everything, all while bracing and hoping that nothing goes wrong. Hoping that there's not suddenly a cataclysmic air leak breach that suddenly blows the whole thing out and you go crashing back into the planet, or that your thrusters fail and you start falling. It's published by Green Man Gaming, which, if you don't know them, they are a competitor of Steam. They also make, I don't know if I would consider them a competitor, but they are another game making company. Very good. I've done business with them before. If you care about publishers, they're the one that put this out. But it is a beautiful game. It is definitely a gorgeous game. If you're a big fan of like Kerbal and stuff, I think this would definitely be in your wheelhouse. You know, it's not as in depth as Kerbal, as, you know, flying the rocket up there and such. But if you're looking for if you're more of the management side of Kerbal, this is definitely a video or a game worth checking out. And if you get it at 50% off at $7, I think you'll definitely get your money out of that. As far as that goes, and the tiering system does work pretty good. Like I said, I tried it on the unlimited mode to see the tiering levels, and there's pretty much a 3-tier system you're working on. You have your basic solar panels, your medium solar panels, and your large solar panels, along with building the habitats and stuff of that nature. And it can get quite large, but the larger you build it, the more obviously you got to be careful of it. The only downside of the game, graphically wise, is you're not really watching a whole lot. You have this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful skybox of the planet going by and the solar system on the outside. But other than that, you really don't have anything. You really don't see people walking around the base. You don't see the research going on or anything like that. And it'd be kind of neat if they added a mode where you could go inside the space station and actually see the people floating around, living there and doing that. The scientists. That would be a really cool mode, or something to add. You do get to watch the solar panels move with the sun, and the radiators retract and stuff. So that is something, but there's just not a whole lot to look at. And with a game with a lot of downtime like this has, while you're waiting for the research to go, or the grants to be done, or even just the building of the thing, or the next shuttle to come up with new people, it can be kind of boring. It does have a pretty good soundtrack. I listened to a little bit of it. So, I mean, there's that. But yeah, it would be nice to add a little something just to visually watch. Of course, you're always watching your meters and your counters and your all that kind of stuff. But it would be nice to actually have to be able to see the people and maybe get a little more in depth into it. Because when you get people On the space station, they just come as a shuttle and they start working. You really don't get a emotional attachment. And I think it'd be kind of nice if they could work in a way to emotionally attach you to the people living on your space station, because they are there, and there's a very small group of people you're interacting with. They're there for a while, and you're very invested in trying to keep them alive. Because I learned in my story mode what happened is my folks just ran out of food and they ended up starving up there. And they ended up, there wasn't enough power, so the food production and the water production stopped, and they died on my space station. And it really didn't mean that much other than I failed the game, or I didn't fail, but I had to get more people, and it was hard to get grant money to get people when you have someone die on your space station. But the people dying didn't have an emotional attachment to me, in the fact that, oh, Kelly died. It was just a person. And I think they could really kind of tap into that emotional side if they were to allow you to get more attached, perhaps have a profile of all the people that come on, be able to see them floating around and living on the space station. I really think that could do really well with that, especially with the graphics being as good as they are. I think that'd be really nice and really easy to go and see. But yeah, guys, that is Stable Orbit. It is a management simulator game in space. Like I said, it came out in September of, I guess, now last year. Welcome into 2018. It's normally retail at $15. If this is something you're really interested in, that's not bad. Personally, I would suggest getting it at 50% off, like it is on the winter sale here, or perhaps maybe waiting for another sale. I wouldn't say it's something that you necessarily have to rush out and buy, but if you are interested in things like Kerbal or Space Engineers, this would be a nice, chill management simulator game to check out. But as always, that is just my opinion. As always, we're all in this one together. I'll see you guys in the next one.